All right, we got a special family edition teardown video today. I have my cousin Nick's car here, and it is a 2010 Ford Explorer with a 4.0, 146,000 miles on the clock, and it's the 5R55S transmission. All right, but let me first say that ever since the 90s, any car he's ever owned has been known as the Fab Four. So I got the Fab Four transmission on the bench, and it was towed in. It does not move, which I'll get to that in a second. So the deal was, he was on the way back from a road trip. He heard a noise coming out of, he heard a noise. He didn't know where it was coming from at the time. So we took it into the local gas station by his house, a little more convenient than coming all the way here. And they checked it out, and they said it's the noise coming from the transmission. The owner of the gas station felt it was the torque converter. So my cousin had called me, was explaining the situation to me, and I said, from what you're telling me, we're either dealing with a converter, a pump, or a filter. Okay, so what actually happened is, in my opinion, the converter blew, because I'm going to show you the pan. I had the pan down to drain the transmission. Oil is black, it stinks like it was bacon inside the converter, and it clogged the filter. So thank God he did not get stuck coming back from his road trip. All right, I think he was probably making some local runs around town, because the guy that he had checked out said don't go too far with it. And probably about a block away from his house, the car actually stopped moving, but he managed to get the car home. He called me up 6:30 in the morning one morning and said, hey, I'm having AAA tow the car in to the shop. We're going to take care of the transmission. So I said, no problem. So geez, probably about 6:30 or so, 6:45, the tow truck pulls up. And hey, it was my good buddy, Turbo Coupe Frankie. That was his first call of the day. So he dropped the car, he came inside, and one of the other guys comes in early, so us and Turbo Coupe Frankie, we were, shooting the breeze for a while until it was time to go to work. But that was pretty cool, that he picked the cousin's car up. Okay, so we're going to take this thing apart. We're going to see what we find. Like I said, transmission smells pretty burnt, but it also could be because the converter was totally fried. It was actually blue. The front part of the converter was blue. That's because it probably got so hot in there, and temperature can get up to like 800 degrees inside a torque converter, and it just turned that sucker blue. And we couldn't even get the converter out. We had to use a special method to get the converter around. I want to show you the clip of that right now of the special method. Here it is.
What? I'm gonna kill him? Why don't you mind your own business? Go ahead, Bob. Okay, kid. I'll just give you one time to listen. What? What? Go ahead. Oh, I get... Up there. Upstairs. How's your iron there? All right, okay. Now one more and it'll be all over, I think. Don't mind me! Don't mind me! Hold what you got there. I got an idea. I'm trying to... Oh! I heard a rat!
All right, so I hope you enjoyed us showing us on the job at work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get a little closer, and we're going to chunk this thing down. We're going to see what we find other than what we know is a blown converter, and we're going to take it apart. But when do you see the oil in this? I mean, it is totally black, and the oil is really bad. It smells really bad. It stinks. All right, so let me get a little closer, and we will start the teardown process of the Fab Four's 5R55S. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the 3 speed sensors out, the input, the intermediate, and the output speed sensor. So the input speed sensor reads the exciter ring on the overdrive planet. This reads the shell, and then this is going to read the park gear. Okay. So let's get these out. All right, I also it's stuck on the O-ring. I also put a whiteout mark, just so I put them back in the same spot. This O-ring is really. This one came out. That's the intermediate. Now, let me get this one. Oh, boy. All right, let me get a little spray. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get some spray and see if I can get that O-ring loose in there. All right, just had to get some of want to get all the crap out of this, so I cleaned it and sprayed it. And it kind of comes right out. So, but these O-rings are going to be changed, and I'm going to also clean it here. All right, so that's that, and the output. Okay, that also. They usually come right out, like I said. Okay, that's good. All right, next thing, I just want to take the 2 bolts out of the neutral switch. Okay. Let's get the back off. All right, so here's your parking pole, rod, and spring. Put the spring aside. Okay. This is the 4-wheel drive plate. We got a gasket here. Okay, seal here, which is going to be changed. All right. Now we're going to get these servos out. This is 2nd and 5th and 3rd. So when we got a 2-3 shift, we're going from band to band. We got a band to band shift. Let's see how easy these snap rings are going to come out now. Okay. One. Okay, nice. 2. Okay. See if we can pop these out. Okay, check out the oil here. Okay. 2nd and 5th. Okay. And of course, as you know, on these transmissions, the cases I sleeve the boards because they do tend to tear out, can cause gear ratio codes. So regardless, the boards get sleeved. Okay. So that's that. Now we're going to take the pump bolts out, and then we're going to flip it and put the pan, valve on, and everything else. See, this may be a problem here. Oh, here we go. Okay. feeling some sharp edges here from this converter being stuck in here. But, you know, with these pumps, I don't think I'm going to be using this pump over again. I think I'm going to get another pump just because of what happened to this. Okay, all right, let's see actually if we can get this pump out before we turn it over. Usually rock these things back and forth. Here's the pump. Take a look at that. Washer for the pump. All right, now I'm going to loosen the adjustment for the overdrive, or should I say actually the second and fifth band. Okay, there's the adjustment. Put a new, has a rubber in there on this nut to keep it from leaking. So those actually come in the kit, so those will be changed. Okay. Take a strut, see if we can get this out. Okay, here's one band. It's going to be changed. You can see the drum. I'm going to surface the drum. Another band strut. This planetary looks like it got very, very hot. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's bearings falling out all over the place. This is no good. So here's this planetary is no good. This thing got very, very hot. So this stuff I'm going to change, even the bushing in here. This whole setup's going to be changed. It's all no good. Here's pieces from that. Okay, now let's so like I said, I did have to pan down and kind of drain it, you know, to get fluid, whatever fluid out I can get out. Just get rid of some of this. Well, he certainly gets the worst transmission award of the week. Today's only Monday. No, I'm kidding. It's midweek. Okay. There is the pan. Yuck. Alright, now we got the filter. Bolts. Alright, these I put aside. Off. Drain out whatever we can drain out. so this is the reverse servo assembly for the band. Way in the back. Let's take the heat off. All right, now next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the solenoid pack off. And they are held on with T30 torque 30 volts. These solenoid packs are very, very tough to get. I have one because I knew they were tough to get, so I bought one. And I have another one of these to do. And I called my supplier, and they have a couple on, you know, like on the West Coast, so I told them to send them. Because these are becoming scarce. And I only like to use the OE ones. I really never used anything other than that. And I'm sure eventually they'll come back in stock, but right now they're very, very hard to get. Okay. All right. Now let's get the valve body out. Then I'm going to take the linkage out and see if we can chunk it down. And then if anything, we'll see how far we got, what time it is, and we can always finish in the morning. All right, so one 10mm bolt in that spot, and the rest are 8s. Sorry about the compressor I need on because I have my waste oil heater on. Oh, that's why it's on. And we're flushing this thing out, flushing this cooler out real good. Some all the crap that probably was stuck in there. So it flushed for a while on the lift. Okay. There we go. Got even a bunch of chunks of stuff on the valve body. Okay, this is from the overdrive planet because there's brass on here and that planet is no good. So that's all new, it's going to be replaced with. And even here, we got a bunch of brass, also from that overdrive planetary going bad. And then here, a bunch of brass on that. Okay. All right, so now we're going to take this nut off, and we got to be careful not to snap that off. All right, but first let's get the roll pin out. I didn't have my small cutting pliers ready. Okay. So we're going to take that out, okay, roll pin for the linkage, and push this all the way up, put the closed end on and be very careful. There we go. Kind of get it by hand now. Okay, I'm going to slide this out. All right, and then here we're going to take this apart. Take one piece out this way, one out that way. So there we go. All right, this I don't like to put in our wash tank because this is kind of like spring loaded. You get water in here and corrosion and it'll rust. And I've had one of these once that it didn't move. It didn't spring. You know, when you put it into park, it should spring and then spring back once the lugs line up. And we had one once that wasn't doing that. actually taking, this never happens, but I'm glad it's happening. I'm actually taking the strut out for the reverse band. I mean, you can never get this thing out. A lot of times this breaks too, you gotta be careful, and they do sell them. Well, they got it out this far, now I can't get this pin out any further. Let's see. There we go. Okay. All right, so there's that. And that, you know, of course, goes in here. And that, like I said, never comes out. Sometimes when I have maybe a case that's no good, I can't get it out, so I drill it and knock it out. I drill the case because it's no good anyway, and then knock it out. Okay, so up to the center support. So we have another torque 30 bolt in here that we're going to take out. And that goes into the center support. Magnet. Okay. Okay. All right, now I want to take the other adjustment out for the other band, which is third gear. Socket. Okay, both of these, it doesn't matter which one, they're both the same adjustments. All right, we can also get this band strut out through that way. There's that, okay. All right, let me just scoop a little of this. All right, now we got a snap ring. Out. Let me just face this down a little bit. See if I can maybe get even a little closer. Let me get another one here. And this, the bevel faces up, flat slide faces down. All right, let's see if this center support. Oh boy. All right, it's tight in there. So let's do this. And a seal puller. We can get this thing moving. Bearing here, there's rings on this. Okay, bearing here. And we got the direct drum, which is fourth gear. Let's see if we can get the band out. The other band strut. Okay. Those bands are the same. back on. Okay, we're gonna check that out. We have the forward drum. All right. Forward drum comes with a molded piston on my banner kit. Comes with a molded piston. All right, then we have the front forward ring gear. All right, so that has a bearing and it has like this little hat washer here. And the snap ring here, I always replace because it's very common for them to break. So I replace it with a super tough. All right, so this is what the snap ring looks like, and I'm actually writing that in the train I'm getting. So all that stuff is coming tonight. Right here's the photo planet. Shell. Okay. And a spacer here. On a 5R55N, this would actually be a sprig with a set of clutches in the case. Okay, and we have the bearing here. All right, now we got another snap ring. Can probably just use my scribe to pick it out. It's holding in the real planet. Okay, there's that. Planet. Also a bearing, and we have an oil glue dam, as they call it, and that actually kind of sits on here like that. Like that. All right, now we have a little snap ring, and I'm gonna have to get my eyelid pliers in there. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get this snap ring out here. That'll get the rear ring gear out, the reverse band, the drum, the reverse band rides on, the low spraying, and the park gear in the back. There it is. All right, now let's take the output shaft and the park gear, and this is the exciter ring that the output speed sensor reads. We have a washer here. Okay, now we're going to get the ring gear out. We got a sealing ring on here. We get a bearing that goes into the case. We're going to take the drum. This is what the reverse band rides on. And also your low sprig is here. And the reverse band. And this is going to be changed. These always flake off. This always gets changed. Sometimes the tab breaks off. You lose reverse, but that's a common part to be changed. All right, so the case is totally stripped. Okay. All right, so what I want to do now is get rid of some of this oil. We'll see if we can't maybe finish this thing up tonight, because all we're going to really do is look at the clutch packs, check out the clutches, and look at the pump, and that's basically about it. All right, so let me just clean up this mess here, and I will be back in a few minutes. All right, let's take a look at the clutch pack and finish it up. Alright, these don't look too bad. Actually, what I'll probably do is tomorrow morning, I'm waiting for my banner kit. I have the sleeves. I really just have the banner kit, the super tough, and some bushings and stuff coming. But I can kind of give you a glance at the parts. Alright, so these are the forward clutches. Again, these are directional. And when you get a banner kit, or any, even if you buy the separate frictions, I like to use exidy on these, and they're marked top. So of course that has to face you when you're stacking up the drum. Okay, here's the direct drum. All right, also directional. Yeah, the clutches are okay, but the, basically the front of the transmission is no good. Because the converter went dead. Bands and over also. And this is the overdrive. The amount of driving he did with these screens starting to clog up, I'm really surprised that, the transmission is in a lot better shape than I thought it was going to be in. Because when your screen's clogged, you kind of kill the line pressure. In turn, you really, fry the unit. The oil's fried, but the clutches, you can see the steels really aren't even burnt. So, but they're all getting changed anyway. And there's a bunch of crap in here, like metal pieces and stuff, and it's tough to get the steels out. And there's all kinds of stuff on here. Okay, now let's take a look at the pump. Okay, that is a T40, and these should come out. No problem. Go. Okay. And the bushings are really burnt in here. Pump gears. The pump really is not that bad, but I really don't want to take a chance because these tend to go off of running true, and then you'll get like a do type pump noise when the car is running. So. Alright, so here is the pump plate. Okay, the pocket feels okay, the gears look okay, but I'm not really going to take any chances. And here is the flow control valve. I don't know how easy that's going to come out. Let's take a look. There we go. Alright, that is the flow control valve here. So if that gets stuck, the car is not going to move either. Or if you put this together, there's an O-ring on here, and if you're building the unit, you leave the O-ring off, you'll have a seriously delay in drive and reverse. Alright, so that's going to be changed. This pump is going to be changed. Again, this overdrive planet, you can see how hot it got in here and how hot the gears got, so there's no way this is getting used over again. And sprig, overdrive sprig is in here also. That is going to be changed because and I'm going to clean up this ring gear because there's pieces of brass and stuff in there from the planetary going bad. So sprig will be changed, and I can clean up the ring gear. The gears aren't broken, so that's no problem. So all this here. Okay, I think that is about it. So I'll have a little bonus feature. I'm gonna give you a shot of the banner kit, but that may not be here till later, so that'll be tomorrow morning. And again, 2010 Ford Explorer, but we call it the Fab 4. We got, basically the front of this transmission is no good. Everything else is not that bad a shape. The solenoid pack 100% is going to be changed. I have this already because I bought one. I've had it for about probably a month, and now I'm going to use it. But like I said, parts are becoming very hard to get. I had sent my other DeWalt gun out. I bought it, and 4 months later it went bad, so I sent it out for warranty work, and I just got an email today, because it's been gone a month, that the part that they need to fix my gun is on back order. And it's probably going to be another couple of weeks, so that's why I had, Snap-on was running a special and I needed something, so I got that. It works pretty good, I like it. All right, so that's it. I'm going to give you a little bonus feature of the parts. When I get the parts, that will be tomorrow morning, so I'm going to clear this area up, clean it up, wipe it down, and I will show you the parts. I'm not getting everything, but I'm getting some stuff to get started. I wanted to get it apart to see, exactly what else I'm going to need. So, all right. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow morning. And again, this is a special family edition teardown video because of Nick's transmission. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch up with you guys in the morning and show you some of the parts that I'm going to be using to rebuild this. All right, so here is my solenoid pack, which I had. I like to try to keep at least one of these on the shelf because there's not many around. And we have the banner kit and a few extra parts in here. All right, here is my overhaul Trans-Tech. All right, along with the banner kit, there is a molded forward clutch piston. And also the friction module exiting. Okay, now I have the two sleeves when I'm going to machine the case. These I also had. One, for the side servos, for the intermediate, which is third, and the second, fifth. All right, I have the pump bushings and stator bushing. I have the super tough snap ring that goes on the ring gear because that one always breaks. And here is a new flow control valve. And this is a superior product. So once my supplier opens, I'm going to get the bands. I'm going to see about the hard parts. Converter shouldn't be a problem. And I'm going to get this done. So what I'm going to do now is I have my machine heating up, and I'm going to clean everything up and start the rebuild process with the overhaul kit and the parts that I have. Okay, so once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you next one.